Dmitry Bivol is taking full responsibility for his loss against Artur Beterbiev in their fight last October. The former WBA light heavyweight champion isn't making any excuses for the defeat, even though he had a real chance to win. Instead of blaming external factors or trying to justify what went wrong, Bivol is fully focused on making the necessary adjustments for their highly anticipated rematch on Saturday, February 22 at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, which will be broadcast live on DAZN PPV. He acknowledges that he didn't do enough in the first fight and is determined to take more risks this time. For Bivol, the key to victory lies in making small but crucial improvements in different aspects of his game, and he believes that these adjustments will be the deciding factor in the rematch. Rather than dwelling on the past, he is channeling all his energy into preparing for the upcoming fight, determined to prove that he can come back stronger and claim victory. Reflecting on his performance, Bivol openly admits that the loss was entirely his own fault. "It was my fault. I didn't do many things I could have done," he stated, recognizing that he had all the necessary skills and tools to win but simply failed to execute them effectively. This level of self-awareness is rare in fighters, as many tend to find excuses or shift blame after a loss. However, Bivol takes a different approach, firmly believing in self-improvement and accountability. "It's easy to blame others and give yourself an excuse, but that won't make you better. You have to put in the work," he explained. His mentality is clear: if he wants to win, he needs to push himself harder, correct his mistakes, and elevate his performance. Rather than wasting time on what could have been, Bivol is laser-focused on what he needs to do differently in the rematch. His ability to recognize his shortcomings and actively work on them is what makes him a dangerous opponent, and fans are eager to see how these changes will translate inside the ring. Many fans and analysts noticed that Bivol seemed to run out of energy after the 6th round in his fight against Beterbiev, struggling to maintain the same level of intensity he had shown in the first 5 rounds. While some believe he only needed to push harder in the final 2 rounds to secure the win, the reality was that his gas tank was already empty by then. This lack of stamina cost him the fight, as he was unable to match Beterbiev's relentless pace in the later rounds. Looking back at the fight, Bivol admits that he doesn't want to dwell on it too much right now. "Maybe when I retire, I'll go back and count rounds and punches, but right now, that won't help me," Bivol said. Instead, his focus is on making tangible improvements, working on his speed, endurance, and willingness to take calculated risks to ensure he doesn't find himself in the same situation again. He understands that minor adjustments in his strategy, combined with better conditioning, can make all the difference in the rematch. This time around, he is determined not to let fatigue be a deciding factor and is preparing his body to go the full 12 rounds at a high intensity if needed. Bivol also emphasized that boxing is not about emotions or trash talk but rather about discipline, strategy, and execution. In an era where many fighters rely on heated exchanges and verbal feuds to hype up fights, Bivol takes a different route, choosing to let his skills in the ring do the talking. "For me, it's important to prove that I can win, that I can be better," he stated. He doesn't see any value in disrespecting his opponents outside the ring, as he believes that true strength is shown through performance, not words. "Trash talking doesn't improve you, it only makes you weaker," he added, emphasizing that engaging in mind games or stirring up drama doesn't contribute to his growth as a fighter. This level-headed approach has earned him respect in the boxing world, as he remains focused on the bigger picture rather than getting caught up in unnecessary distractions. By maintaining his composure and keeping his eyes on the prize, Bivol is setting himself up for success, knowing that the only thing that truly matters is what happens when the bell rings. As the rematch approaches, Bivol is more determined than ever to redeem himself. He has studied his mistakes, identified what went wrong, and is working tirelessly to ensure history does not repeat itself. He understands that this is his shot at redemption, and he refuses to let it slip away. His training camp is centered around making him a more complete fighter, one who can maintain his pace, take necessary risks, and execute a smarter game plan. He knows exactly what it will take to defeat Beterbiev, and this time, he plans to leave nothing to chance. With a smarter approach, improved conditioning, and a stronger mindset, he aims to show the world that he has what it takes to turn things around. The question now is, can he take his self-awareness and preparation and turn it into a winning strategy? Will Bivol rise to the occasion and prove that he is still one of the best in the division? Fans are eagerly waiting for the rematch, where all these answers will be revealed in the ring. Bivol's loss to Beterbiev was a wake-up call, pushing him to re-evaluate his approach to fighting at the highest level. While he had always been known for his technical skills and sharp boxing IQ, his last fight exposed some weaknesses, most notably his inability to maintain peak performance in the later rounds. This has been a major focus for him in training, as he understands that to defeat a relentless power puncher like Beterbiev, he must be in top physical condition from start to finish. He has worked tirelessly on improving his stamina, ensuring that he doesn't fade in the second half of the fight. Additionally, he has been refining his defensive skills to avoid unnecessary damage, knowing that Beterbiev thrives on overwhelming his opponents with pressure. Bivol is aware that a single mistake could cost him dearly, so his preparation has been all about fine-tuning the details that will make the difference on fight night. One of the biggest takeaways from the first fight was Bivol's reluctance to take risks when it mattered most. While he had his moments of success, he often played it too safe, allowing Beterbiev to dictate the pace and steal crucial rounds. In a fight of this magnitude, playing it safe is not an option. Bivol understands that he needs to step out of his comfort zone and be more aggressive when openings present themselves. This doesn't mean reckless aggression, but rather calculated risks that could shift the momentum in his favor. He has been working closely with his coaches to develop a game plan that balances caution with controlled aggression, ensuring that he can capitalize on any weaknesses in Beterbiev's style. If Bivol can find the perfect balance between offense and defense, he has a real chance of turning the tables in this rematch. Aside from his physical training, Bivol has also been working on his mental toughness. He knows that boxing is just as much a psychological battle as it is a physical one. The pressure of a rematch, especially against an undisputed champion like Beterbiev, can be overwhelming, but Bivol is approaching it with a fresh mindset. He has learned from his mistakes and is using them as motivation rather than a burden. His confidence remains unshaken, and he genuinely believes that he has all the tools necessary to win this fight. Rather than letting doubts creep in, he is using his past loss as fuel to push himself harder. The difference between a great fighter and a champion often comes down to mental strength, and Bivol is making sure that he enters the ring with unwavering self-belief. Beyond personal redemption, this rematch carries massive implications for Bivol's career. A win against Beterbiev would not only secure his legacy but also open doors to even bigger fights in the future. It would position him as one of the greatest light heavyweights of this era and put him in line for potential super fights against other top names in the sport. However, a second loss could significantly impact his standing, making it much harder for him to reclaim a championship status. This high-stakes scenario is exactly what drives elite athletes like Bivol, pushing them to perform at their absolute best. He understands that this fight is a defining moment in his career, and he is treating it with the urgency and intensity that it deserves. As fight night approaches, the excitement among boxing fans continues to build. This rematch is not just about two elite fighters going head-to-head, it's about a battle of strategy, endurance, and heart. Will Bivol's adjustments be enough to overcome Beterbiev's power and pressure? Can he execute a perfect game plan under the bright lights of Riyadh? The answers will soon be revealed in what promises to be an electrifying showdown. With everything on the line, Bivol is ready to prove that he is more than just a contender, he is a warrior determined to reclaim his place at the top. The world will be watching, and come February 22 ND, the stage will be set for one of the most anticipated fights in recent memory.